Welcome to Bears Banter, the 2021 season. Tonight on the broadcast, you have Guy Moore, Jaye Beasley, Tammy Harris, and sitting there for Keith Flournoy, Mike Alton. Also, Wick. How are everybody doing tonight?
Great.
I'm good. It's football season.
Okay.
It's football season, baby.
Yeah,
it's football season.
Opening game tonight. Man, ain't nothing like football season every year. I mean, I love football season, but the only thing I hate is, winter is around the corner.
Yeah, it is. Definitely it is.
Typhoons, monsoons, and all that stuff. All we get is like hot, cold street runs.
It's better than that other sport with them guys be running around with them halter tops and them tight shorts on, man, with that little orange ball. You know.
I know, right?
Hey, I see we got one guest down there waiting to come on. We bring you on later. Look like the name is Ron. I'm gonna have to see you on the camera before I bring you on, Ron. But it'll probably be another 15 minutes. But what we are getting ready for is the Bears versus the Rams. It's coming up.
I want to send a shout out to all y'all people that joined our Facebook group, Bears Banter, out here kicking it. Almost 400 strong. Y'all represent. We appreciate y'all. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it in. Hey, anything anybody want to say before we get into talking about doing the pregame show? No? Hey, you know what I would like to say?
Let's jump right in.
Just jump right in. Okay, what I would like to say is congratulations to Bears Banter being 1 year since we launched this show. And awesome. Like everybody, like Guy said, I'd like to thank everybody who joined the Facebook group, all those who subscribed on YouTube, those who have faithfully watched us for 12 months, those who have came on the show as commentators, as commentators. Those who just sent like suggestions, etc. I mean, thank you. I mean, everybody's played a part for the people who help with the commercial, etc. So let's get right into it. Let's start off talking about what happened in 2020. A recap of the 2020 season. The Bears went 8-8 in the regular season, and they lost in the playoff to New Orleans 21-9. So as we look at that as the recap of the season, I wanted to look at some of the stats that occurred in the 2020 season. And if Jay could kind of refresh our memory and also some of the viewers' memory of some of the things that happened offensively with the Bears, defensively with the Bears, coaching, etc. So let's get into that before we get to the prediction. Because this is the prediction show that we do before the game, and then we also do a show immediately after the game, which that's the hot show right there after the game. So what you got, Jay?
Right, y'all know my word, abysmal. Abysmal. The Bears offense ranked 22nd last year. 26 in scoring points, 22 overall. Just not being able to put up no points. They ranked 26th in yards gained, 22nd overall. And the defense, they did what they could with what they had. They ranked 14th offensively. They had 18 turnovers, which is not good. They gave up 370 total points, and they gave up an average of 23 points a game, but which is not bad. It's middle of the pack. But when your offense ain't middle of the pack, if you score 24 points a game, you might have a winning season. Your defense gave up 23 points a game, but you scoring 22. So that's not gonna cut it. Nagy, everybody talks about Nagy on the hot seat, all this stuff. I don't believe that. Nagy is 28-20 in his 3 seasons. Now he got his toy, Justin Fields, who he wanted. So now we're gonna see if he's gonna be able to, groom this offense that he's talking about, which I'm mad about. He said a couple of days in his press conference, this offense take 3 to 4 years to learn. We ain't got that time. You don't need the only people on your team that's been on this team for 3 years since you've been here is Allen Robinson, Cody Whitehair, and James Daniels. Ain't no quarterback been on this team for 3 years. Ain't no well, I take that back. David Montgomery been on this team. I think this is his third year. But it's one of those things where it's like we got to see what's going on. And again, as we said all last year, you have to run the offense and cater the offense to the people that you have, not to the people that you want.
Okay, great point. Now, Jay, did you say that the Bears defense was giving up 23 points a game?
23 points a game.
And the offense, okay, and the offense scored 22 points a game.
22 points a game.
Okay, so they kind of fortunate, with those average to actually come out with an 8-8 season. Now, traditionally, it is said if you gave up 17 points a game, you have a good defense and you have a good chance to win. But once you start giving up 20-some points a game on defense, your offense had to be more than just middle of the pack.
But you also have to remember that those numbers are skewed because Bill Lazor took over the play calling, and that's when they actually start scoring points. So the numbers are skewed because remember, this is off the top of my head. I think the Bears went 5-1 in the first 6 games and then lost 6 straight. So they wound up being 6-7. So they wound up being 6-7, and they wind up splitting those last 4 games that actually got them in the playoffs when Lazor actually took over the play calling, where they actually scored. I think it was the first time in 26 years that they scored like 30 points a game in 3 consecutive games. But you also have to look at who they was playing too. So,
yeah,
it was a little padded.
It was very padded.
And a couple of those they should have lost. Atlanta. Atlanta game, that was one pass. I mean,
no, Atlanta know how to lose a game better than anybody else. No,
they lost to the Lions too.
The Lions.
It was a couple of them last plays. They just, the guy drops the touchdown for the Lions, and my parlay hits. But I'm not mad. It's okay.
So to sum it all up, the Bears was a mediocre, average team in 2020. They made some changes in 2021, but are they going to be enough to get them over the hump? Which is with the schedule that they got, which we'll talk about later. I don't know. Y'all know me. I don't know.
So that brings us to what you said. It depends on the roster that the Bears have. And that's one of the things we want to look at before we get to the prediction, because we don't want to just be blindly just picking a team. And also, like Guy always say, we're not no homers.
Right.
And for those who are not familiar with that, that's mean we don't just pick the home team all the time just to pick the home team. We try to dive into this, do analysis, break down certain things, and try to come to a whatever your decision is. So Guy wanted to go over like some of the roster changes from last year to this year to show you what the current roster is. So, hey, Guy, let me bring this in for you. What we have here. I need to share your screen. What we got? I need Plank.
Plank used to improvise. I can make it happen, man.
Yeah, Plank used to do this for me. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Our wideouts this year. We got Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson II, and Marquise Goodwin. Of course, our quarterbacks, Andy Dalton. Of course, we got David Montgomery, the running back. We got left tackle Jason Peters, left guard Cody Whitehair, center Stan Mustapher, right guard James Daniels, right tackle Jermaine Ifedi, tight end Cole Kmet. It is a lot different, and I was kind of laughing with some of the guys about this because I was saying that Wims and Miller basically punched their ticket out in that New Orleans game, I think. But we got a lot of speed because the truth of the matter is, as fast as Mooney is, I think Marquise Goodwin is actually the fastest guy on the squad. So we got some speed. You know, as far as the offense is concerned, Tammy, y'all don't know. If y'all don't notice, Bill Lazor is Tammy's husband, not husband. So basically, we were trying to get her to bribe him, make him some of that caramel cake, and go up there and punch. Yeah, make him punch Nagy so he could do the play calling. But a lot of it, just like you said, man, I just wonder why they have a guy who was paid to be an offensive coordinator, and you got your head coach calling. But see, Lazor kind of like not dumbed it down, but it kept it simple. He was able to move the ball. A lot of the reason why defense is ranked 14th is because they had to deal with 3 and out. So it's a lot of attrition. But that's on the offensive side of the ball. Do you want the defensive special teams too, man?
Yes, let's go down to what's next. Let's go to defense.
Okay, defense, defensive tackles, Akeem Hicks. The nose tackle, it says Eddie Goldman, but I think Kyrus Tonga is going to start. I think Goldman's got an injury going on. Defensive end, Bilal Nichols. Offensive line, outside linebacker, Khalil Mack. Inside linebackers are Alex Ogletree and Roquan Smith. The other outside linebacker, Robert Quinn. Cornerback, Jalen Johnson. Safety and cornerback, Kendall Vildor. And the safeties are Tashawn Gibson Sr. and Eddie Jackson. They've been kind of clowning our defense, talking about our safeties and stuff like that. A lot of it is, it is coverage. But like I said, I truly believe a lot of it has to do with timing. You know, like I said, if the defense go into the third and fourth quarter, if you're getting so many 3 and outs from the offense, man, defense is gassed. If they can give the defense a puff, I think we're going to improve on those numbers. So we'll see. Oh, I forgot the special teams, too.
Special teams? Okay.
Yeah, Pat O'Donnell is the punter. Carol Santos is the kicker. Long snap is Patrick Scales. The hold is Pat O'Donnell. Kick return, Khalil Herbert. Punt return, December Webster. I say look out for December Webster, man. I think that he'll
great pickup.
Addition for us.
Great pickup.
And that's what we got for 2021. Looks pretty decent on paper, and I hope it translates to some W's.
Okay, great job. Now, hey, guys. Now, looking at the let me start with the defense. Looking at the defense, I'm gonna go back to that additive. You can't improve by subtracting. I don't see in the defense that they did enough as far as addition, but I do say they did some subtraction. Right. So I don't know if they improved defensively. And the defensive line, actually, based off what it looks like it may be, it almost looked like it may even be weaker than it was last year. I'm not sure of that. And
you might think about that, man. You might be right. You know, Goldman now hurts us kind of quite a bit because the conditioning ain't all that hot.
Right.
You know, and then one good thing is Khalil Mack's. I guess he had the shoulder injury he had last year. He's healed from that, but then I think he's got an ankle thing going on now.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting, man. Like I said, if we can get that front pressure, we get that pressure off the 7, I think we can do, okay. But like you said, addition doesn't necessarily mean, subtraction doesn't, or addition doesn't necessarily mean success. I think this defense is going to be one of those ones that's going to be predicated upon how well the offense does. If the offense does bad, then
yeah. Well, that's the other thing is the secondary. I didn't really see the improvement on the secondary. I don't know. Maybe guys going to blossom, but I don't really
right away. Buster Screen is not there. What is wrong with y'all? Third down, man. We improved dramatically just getting rid of him. What is wrong with y'all, man? Every time the other team needed a first down, they found where he was and threw the ball to whoever he was guarding.
You ain't lying, quick.
We improved right away.
Well, I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna say. Although we lost Kyle Fuller, I just feel like our front 7 is the strength of our defense. Yeah. And if our front 7 can get pressure, and as much as I like Danny Trevathan, Ogletree came in and just made him go into reserve. He's a 3-down linebacker that can actually play the run and he can cover. In the past, now the question is who our nickel where Buster Screen was at is going to be. I think it's gonna be
breathing is better than Buster.
I actually think it's gonna be Duke Shelley, and it's one of those things where it's like, here's another stat for y'all: 3rd down in the NFL, 78% is nickel defense. So you got to have a nickel corner that can cover a slot gap. So this is where I'm worried as far as our secondary is who's going to be our nickel cornerback.
We didn't have a nickel last year. We had a penny. It wasn't worth a quarter. And subtract the dime from that. He was terrible.
Hey, so Tammy, what do you think as far as looking at the defensive lineup? Do you have any reservations, or are you positive about what you see?
I'm on the fence about what I see. I think a lot of it is gonna. I'm waiting to see what Sean, what's Desai, how he works with it, because last year we had a pretty good defense, but I mean, I won't blame it all on who's the guy that retired.
Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame it all on him. Our defense had to be out there a lot because the offense wasn't doing their job. So I know we all say they got tired, but I think our defense, and I could be wrong, but I think historically our defense is gets fired up based on the coaching of the defensive coordinator. The stronger our defensive coordinator is, the more they seem to be able to pull that aggressiveness out of our defense. Otherwise, sometimes our defense can get kind of lax and lazy. So I don't want to see, I don't want to see missed tackles. I don't want to see them playing far back off people. I want to see the aggressiveness. And I think a lot of that is in the coaching. So I'm really curious how Sean decides going to motivate them.
Okay. And Desai is a Fangio disciple. I'm looking for a lot of exotic stuff Sunday night off the bat. I'm telling y'all, because the bottom line is the Bears know who Matthew Stafford is. They know who Matthew Stafford is. He has 20 career games against them, so they know what he is. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, he with a different team, yeah, but you ain't Tom Brady, so you don't get to go out and mess. You don't get to go out and mess with your team right away. It's gonna take a little getting used to before you finally get in a rhythm. So I'm really interested to see how this is gonna play out, and I think Sean Desai gonna come out with a little exotic stuff that is gonna put the Rams in something that they didn't think they was gonna see.
Okay. Hey, Guy, before you address this, can you give us a memory of last year, Buster Screen helmet whenever he was guarding somebody?
That visor is a little funny.
but and the funny part about it, man, is the fact that I laughed at it when I saw it. But it was actually true because it just seemed like every time he was in coverage, he was dizzy, man. Because I'm like, okay, you are nickel dude, man. You sitting right up there, and it's almost like the guy standing right here, and he's like, oh. So it was something that I didn't even think of it. All I could think of is him, when he got burnt and he screwed up a whole lot of plays. In my mind, I'm like, this dude has got to be dizzy because ain't nowhere in the world he's supposed to miss that. And that was kind of organic, but hopefully we don't have a lot of that to go. I hope our guy Duke Shelley can come in. And one good thing I can say about Duke Shelley is during the preseason when he played, they called his number a whole lot of times on tackles. So he didn't do too bad. So fingers crossed. Hopefully I don't have to do that screen no more. But okay. I will.
Hey, quick.
And I just want to say real quick, guess what? Buster Screen ain't in the NFL. So that lets you know his time is up.
Right.
Oh,
he handed me my ice cream at Baskin Robbins the other day. I think that was him.
Hey, what you got quick as far as defense? I know you played defense in the Arena League, so you could give us some insight on what you think as far as the Bears defense.
Well, their defense is just playing out right now offensive. You talk about Sean Desai coming in. even though a lot of people don't play in the preseason, it still gives you kind of a temperature check of what you have. And the Bears in the preseason on defense they were mediocre to say the least. We have to strengthen up a lot of things. I think our secondary is going to be the key, because if we don't get pressure on these guys and we ask these guys to cover more than 3 or 4 seconds, we have to be able to lock some people down. And Jay, you made a comment about Matthew Stafford being on another team. Matthew Stafford has always been a decent quarterback with a garbage team.
Yes,
he's always been my fantasy quarterback, and I've always gotten a lot of points with him. So now you give him the weapons with the Rams, and you talking about somebody that's dangerous, because he's actually better than the boy that they traded for in
absolutely.
Detroit. So
Mr. Trubisky better than Jared Goff.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff's little brother, who ain't even playing football, is better than
He almost
Jared
didn't
Goff.
even make that high school team for that thing. You remember that one thing where they do these pro players and they dress up like somebody else, and he was playing like either high school or college dude. He almost probably didn't even make that squad. And their quarterback was abysmal.
Well, he was supposed to be the guy coming out, and the Bears have always had the Rams number, and part of that was because of they were able to get to Jared Goff.
That's true.
So they've always played well, and but that was when Fangio was here, going up against them, and Fangio just gave them problems all the time. So looking forward to see what's going on, what's happening now. But the side you talking about, Fangio's guy that used to go get coffee and donuts for everybody, now the defensive coordinator. So we just got to figure out what's happening. But the preseason, if it gave any indication of what's going to happen, we got to get better real soon.
Okay. Hey, hold on, everybody. Let's take a quick break.
Love don't mean a thing. A little something for the steppers. The new single by Tammy Harris, now available on iTunes, Spotify, and all digital media outlets.
Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you, love don't mean a thing. Love don't mean a thing if I don't have you. If I don't have you.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. I had got all up into it, man. It was going on.
Love don't mean a
thing if
here we go.
If I don't have you. I love when she sing that to me, y'all. Y'all just
I'm singing to you, huh?
You don't give me no caramel cake, so yeah, you got to do something. Anyway,
I tried to get you a caramel cake when I was in Chicago. You didn't come.
Hey,
I'm sorry, I'm up now.
let's move over to the offense. Okay, the offense I believe is going to be the strength of this team. We drafted Justin Fields. I know he's not starting in this game, but I'm excited about seeing him play this year. I believe all Chicago fans are actually excited about wanting to see this kid play. A great addition to the team. Also, I do believe that as far as the receiving core, upgrade in the receiving core. I believe it was an upgrade in the tight ends. I believe it was an upgrade in the running backs. Offensive line, that's what we're gonna have the problems at. It seemed like we pretty much in the same spot we've been offensive line for the last 2 or 3 seasons. But hey, let me turn it over to Guy. What do you think as far as the offense?
The rest of it go. You know what? Here's an interesting thing, though, man. I mean, White, Musper, Daniels, Affetti, Jason Peters. Jason Peters, which is interesting, man, is I saw him line up on the offensive line, and he looked like 3 people. He just looked like an action figure. That dude, I'm like, look, y'all know how I say it. It's like if a guy is running like on defense and he about to pass you up, instead of looking stupid, my rule is to trip him. That dude can fall on a whole defensive line and stop him. We we seem like we might be a tad bit slow this year, man. I'm worried, but a lot of times, what you have to do is, I mean, at this particular point, we can cry and complain about the offensive line, and that's up to the offensive coordinator. Tammy, talk to your husband. Is to do like some quick stuff, like for example, maybe some 2-step drops, maybe just go straight north south and all this east west stuff. And as you said, B, burn the screen and burn that doggone jet sweep, man. I worry about it if Dalton drops back, does like a 4-step drop, reads the 1, 2, 3. By the time he get to the third, he's gonna be at St. Bernard Hospital, man.
Mm-hmm.
Saying.
Okay, what about you, Tammy? Oh, what you see in the offense?
So while I think we made a lot of upgrades in the offense, I'm afraid that it might all be for naught if Nagy does not. y'all know how I feel. If Nagy does not get outside of his ego and let the people who are better equipped to do certain roles do their job. While Bill Lazor is not my husband, y'all know that he is my guy. I need melanin for my husband, but but Bill Lazor is my guy, and Bill Lazor is a more than competent offensive coordinator, and Nagy needs to let him do his job. It will be a complete waste of a season if he does not allow the talent around him to contribute to the team in the best way that they can, all because he will not get outside of himself. So that's one of my biggest worries. I mean, offensive line, yes, but Nagy, I think we got a lot of talent. We have a lot of possibilities of where this team can go, but if he does not, utilize his resources, it's going to be a painful season.
Okay. And what about you, Quick? We're gonna let's save Jay for last.
Oh yeah, he about to pick the Packers to win on Sunday or something. Crazy. And they're not even playing the Packers, Crazy. But anyway, I think the Bears, what they need to do is find themselves an identity. I think they struggled a lot last year with trying to figure out, are we gonna try to run the ball, we're gonna try to pass the ball, we're gonna try to get mentioned some RPOs or whatever. And I just think that we struggled tremendously. Now, the thing that we have now with Dalton starting, and a lot of people don't realize this, we're actually a little bit limited in what we can do. We got a really bad offensive line, and we got a mediocre quarterback. And the problem I've been a component of Justin Fields starting because I think more people could accept us losing with a rookie quarterback than this guy that's been in the league for
good point.
9 years. So I don't think we're ready to accept us going out here getting beat over the head with this guy that's been in the league for so long. And you saying this guy's not ready. I posted on the thing. If he gets hurt, if Justin Fields is not ready, what do we do? Do we go to Nick Foles? No, we get the guy ready to play, and that's what you have to do with anybody that's on your team. Get them ready to play. So I think we made an upgrade with Darren Williams coming in at running back. He played for the Chiefs, got a couple rings, and he was actually the Chiefs' main running back in that first when they got the first ring. Yeah,
should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl.
So I think he's gonna kind of mentor Montgomery a little bit as well. So I think we got to upgrade at running back. The receivers are phenomenal, but man, if you going hut 1, 2, look out. I mean, who you gonna be able to throw the ball to? So that's my take on the offense. So I think we just gotta find the identity. Nagy's not gonna get out of the way. His ego is too big.
But he is the reason that we don't have an identity because, like Jay said, he don't utilize the talent that he has. He utilizes what he wanted to be instead of letting the guys that have whatever talent they have, let that shine. Stop trying to make him something else. He's the reason.
He's that boss that nobody wants to work for. That's who he is. I mean, he's the guy that wants to have all the credit in the world and all of that. But I mean, hey, the guy, he knows that he can't call plays, man. Come on.
Hey, you know what? Real quick though, I know me and Quick was going back and forth on the board, and it wasn't I was disagreeing with you. It's like I'm still nervous about the offensive line, but you know, as you brought up what you just said right there, I mean, it makes 1,000,000,000,000% sense. I would love to see Justin Fields start at the beginning of the season. I just want to let, and I know this is kind of heinous, man. I'll let Dalton be the crash test dummy this week and see, and then put him in next. Because you fail, you know what? Because like I said, you know, if you got this guy, first of all, what I like about Fields is more importantly than the skill and everything else, he doesn't seem overwhelmed. And you don't see that in like rookie quarterbacks. They usually seem like, what is it? It's going to be on 2. I mean, he basically walks up and he's got a command of guys who are his seniors, and they actually look at him and they trust him. So if we lose, like you said, if we lose and we got Justin back there, I think we'll probably be a little more accepting, so to speak, as opposed to Dalton. Because if Dalton lose, I hope Nagy don't pull that. Oh, if he loses 3-4 games, if he lose to tomorrow, I mean it's Sunday.
Dude, Bears fans are gonna be like, crucify him on Sunday if he loses. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be good. But what I told Guy, I said, in order for a diamond to shine, you have to put it through extreme heat and extreme pressure. Put that boy out there and let him play, and he'll figure it out. I've been watching him since QB1 when he was in high school at the Catholic school. Shout out to my boy K-Man that played with me at Mississippi Valley State, who's his barber. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching him since then, and all he's done is flourish as a quarterback. He takes his job seriously. Of course, he doesn't know everything, and we know that. But what I said, we'll accept losing with him in the game as opposed to Andy Dalton, because you're saying you basically saying I can't get him ready fast enough. You know, sit him down. Sit him down for what? We paid all this money. Sent the first round draft pick away so we can get him. We owe Andy Dalton nothing. He was not here last year. Let's get over that. We owe him nothing.
You know what? On a basketball, like kind of bad noses football, but the equivalent of what he is as far as a rookie quarterback, he's almost like those European basketball players, like a Luka Doncic. He come to the league and he light up. He's been playing overseas for God knows. Now he comes here. It's like, okay, yeah, these guys come play with me all the time. I ain't scared of them, and he light them up. Justin Fields knows what he needs to know to be a starting quarterback, even as a rookie. And the mistakes that he makes, you're fine with them. Like, for example, when he got blasted, it was nice to see him kind of be cool about it, whatever it is. But I love this kid, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I just pray that he's able to be everything we think he is.
We talking about a kid who had a potential cracked rib in the national championship game that said, I'm not coming out the game. My guys need me. You know what I'm saying?
Trevor Lawrence.
Right. So we would like to thank everybody who's watching us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV. And Jay, can you share with your thoughts on the subject as far as the Bears offense?
The Bears offense. You know, part of me wants to be on Nagy's side and look at what he's trying to do, because I've seen it in 2018 when he became the head coach. I've seen how he schemed people open and was able to do these different things. I still visualize that with a better quarterback. And even our offensive line has been, you know, we don't know what our offensive line gonna be. But in order for you to neutralize a Rams defense and be able to win games with a Dalton, for right now, you have to be able to run the football, because 3 yards in the cloud of dust is old school. But guess what? 3 yards in the cloud of dust on first down is 2nd and 7. 3 yards in a cloud of dust on second down, now it's 3rd and 4, which is manageable. That's manageable for an Andy Dalton quarterback. He has to get outside of himself and allow the players that he has to be able to do the things that they can do best. And this going down the field and all that, with Andy Dalton, you can't do that. So My thing is, on offense, all you need to do is be able to control the clock and score points. And again, like I said, the Bears was ranked 31st on offense on third down conversion last year. That's not good. That's not good. So even with a banged up offensive line, a 39-year-old coming out of retirement, Jason Peters, I still think this offense can work if he called the game with the players that he has.
Okay.
Jay, I'm not saying that Nagy can or never should call a play, but he should let his offensive coordinator take the
I
lead.
agree.
And
I agree.
if he has some ideas, work with him to see where he can work in some of his ideas, but don't do it all. Like, don't think it's you. Like, let your offensive coordinator do his job.
And Tammy, I agree with you because guess what? The Bears scored the most points in games that they ever scored last year during last season than they did when Bill Lazor was calling plays. So David Montgomery gained almost 800 yards in the final games in which Bill Lazor called plays with the same offensive line. I mean, because if you look at it, outside of Charles Leno,
My boy.
It's the same offensive line. It's the same offensive line. And this dude almost gained 800 yards in those final games where Bill Lazor called plays. So it's something there. So I totally agree with you. But the bottom line is, if Nagy get out of the way, and I've said it for the last 3 years, I love Nagy as a head coach. I really do. I really love Nagy as a head coach. But a play caller, he leaves something to be desired. I've said that for the last 3 years.
Yeah, we don't have a football one-on-one tonight, but football one-on-one will be back next week. But let's Andre, one of the viewers, actually said he's tired of the Bears having quarterbacks that are game managers. So that's why we drafted Justin Fields. So
that's why we drafted Justin Fields.
Yep, so we can have a quarterback that can play. So let's move on because we're getting close to the most important part of this show. We're about to get to what do the Bears need to do to win this game. Hey, Tammy, you want to start off? What do the Bears need to do to win this game?
Well, Jay said it. They need to run the ball. And y'all know I'm a big proponent of running the ball. Running the ball defense, that's Bears football. Like, you got to be able to do those two things. We have never been this amazing offensive, high-flying, spirals in the air, offensive powerhouse team. That's not who we were. That's not who we are. They need to be able to have a nice balance of running the ball and passing when they need to. And then the defense needs to do their job. They need to not miss tackles. They need to not play too far back off people. They need to be aggressive. Wishful thinking on the play calling. So I might as well not even say that because I, along with a whole lot of other Bears fans, wish that were true. But I think if Andy Dalton starts, which he is, if he's not doing well, take him out, and keep Justin Fields in. I want to see Justin Fields play too. I'm excited too. I know everybody says, a lot of people say we don't owe Andy Dalton anything, but they feel like they do owe him something. So if you feel like you owe him something, let him play the first quarter. If he sucks, take him out. He don't get it together. But run the ball, defense, and hopefully more than adequate play calling. Okay.
Hey, what about you, Quick?
Man, what the Bears need to be doing right now is trying to find a pharmacy store where they can buy some heat and sneak it to the Rams locker room and put it in their helmets and their jock straps. Yeah, that's what they need to do in order to win.
Hashtag revenge of the nerds.
Right. That's what they need to be on. But one of the things that they need to do is that they need to control the game. Defense is always going to be the key to the game. Defense. If you could play some good quality defense, get some pass rush on those guys, you might be able to have some success, but you got to get a pass rush. You got to be able to stop them on third down, and you have to convert on offense on third down. I mean, those are going to be the keys to the game, and play field position with the special teams. So we'll see what's happening here on Sunday. But they need to be out with at least $10, getting 2 jars of heat apiece, so they can sneak into that locker room and put the heat on them jock straps, man. So the game will be heated up a little bit.
Hey, Jay, what they need to do?
Balance on offense. Balance on offense. I don't care. Again, like I said, 3 yards to the cloud of dust. I don't care what happens, but you have to have balance on offense. If you don't have balance on offense, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, that's wearing out your defense. So you got to have balance on offense. On defense, you have to be able to put pressure on the quarterback. And it can happen because, like, again, like I said, we know who Matthew Stafford is. He ain't this elusive quarterback. I mean, the Bears got, career-wise, the Bears got 49 sacks. If I remember that correctly, 49 sacks against Matthew Stafford in 20 career games. So pressure on the quarterback, control the clock, a good ground game, and I actually see, I hold my prediction, but I actually see where they can succeed with that formula. Okay.
What you got, Guy?
Well, they need to stop being like my cousin Peebo up at the 50-yard line stepping. You know, the dude that can't step. He be doing all the more crazy moves that don't even really matter. Stand around. They can't be like that. They got to be previous. They got to be quick. Because the thing is, if you look at not just with us or what we're doing, but if you look at teams that beat great teams, 2-step drop, running back with none of this old Three Stooges stuff in the back. It's like that old school Redskins football, run it down their throat. None of that east-west stuff, straight north-south. Quarterback, since Dalton is a stationary quarterback and not nimble, set him up some 2-step drop. Don't get a defense a chance to set, because if we can do that and we can move the ball, but just like Laser did, Laser controlled the clock, and he just meticulously moved down the field, and now you wear their defense out. As far as our defense is concerned, we can't play that bend but don't break, man. My thing is, maybe it needs a penalty or two to fire somebody up, man, but we need some dudes that's just going to put some lead on them. But you got to be careful, because their wide out 3 is Deshaun Jackson. And he's the 3 guy.
How sad is that? How sad is that?
As old as he is, his 4.1 speed is probably like 4.3 speed, but they still got them guys. We gotta get him, man. Stafford can't stand back there, because if you look at the average, we're like 2 sacks a game against him. If we get extra sacks and we get some front 7 pressure, I think we'd be good, man.
I believe, as far as what the Bears need to do to win this game, the Bears need to play a solid defensive game. And like Jay said, you need a solid offensive attack. I want to see the Bears utilize their tight ends a whole lot in this game and exploit that mismatch, because the Bears have some huge tight ends and hit Donnell Mooney on a couple of deep passes. Also, the Bears definitely need to play better special teams than what we saw in them in the preseason and what we started seeing late in the season last year. I know it was preseason, but that was kind of a sign of what you kind of saw late in the season last year, when the Bears were kind of giving up a lot of deep punt returns. So Bears need to fix whatever the issue is on special teams as far as punt coverage. And if they can keep this game close, Matthew Stafford, like he always did in Detroit, he's going to give us one right late in the game to try to do what he do. He probably bring that Detroit bad luck with him. So anyway, hey, let's move to the part of the show, to the predictions. We had a lot of people in the Facebook group who they gave their picks and everything from for the Bears game, and about 69% of the people that were polled said that they picked the Bears to beat the Rams. That's interesting, right? Yeah,
that's interesting. That is really interesting.
Yeah,
69%. That's a lot.
It's 391 people in the Facebook group. I believe 100 people, almost 100 people did the polls. and like I say,
That's a lot.
69% of them picked the Bears. Let me bring that screen up for you, Tammy, so we could kind of share
I
some.
got a quick question while you're doing that. Real quick. Was that poll in Braille? I was just.
So you
I
just
don't
got
know.
back. Don't kick yourself already.
I was just asking if it was in Braille. You know, somebody might have picked the wrong thing. I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I've been a little sick, man. It's the medicine, y'all. It's the medicine. I'm blaming it on the medicine.
Don't blame it on the medicine.
Right.
That was funny though. That was funny. That was very funny though. That was very funny.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up, Tammy, for you. Okay, I'm struggling with this part of it.
Jay, I just had to ask. I didn't know. I was just seeing if it was, you know.
That was funny. That was very funny. I like that. I like that.
You're gonna be going into witness protection next. But it was interesting that like almost 70% of the people pick the Bears. It's probably a little skewed because we're all fans, you know. But I'm not mad at them because I think there are a lot of unknowns. It's newness on our side, it's newness on their side, you know. And all things considered, I'm going with the Bears too. Another thing is I looked at the history of the Bears and the Bears have beat the Rams almost 60% of the time in our meetings, and rarely do we lose more than 2 consecutive meetings to them, right? So we lost the last 2. So I'm gonna bank on history and that we gonna win the next one because we lost the last 2.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, can you see that? There we
Yeah.
are. Yeah, I'm ready. There we are.
So our friend
Okay,
Andre, I want to say thank you. Andre said he liked my music. I appreciate that. He's going with the Rams 24-10. Kerry Lofton is going with the Bears 24-17. Christy Love's going with the Bears 24-7. Alvin Bridgeforth, Rams 24, Bears 20. Reggie Hammond, Bears 27, Rams 20. Chris Beasley, Bears 24, Rams 13. Will Henderson, Bears 15, Rams 21. Oh, Bears 35, sorry. Rams 21. Brenda Wallace, Rams 28, Bears 24. Laverne Brown, Bears 17, Rams 10. Paul Cunningham, Bears 27, Rams 7.
Wow.
Yeah. Stephen or Stephen, I don't know which one. Johnson, Bears 27, Rams 24. Talib Muhammad, Bears 27, Rams 17.
Wow.
And so I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. I think it's going to be a close game.
Is Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey out with COVID?
I think it's going to be a close game, and I don't think it's going to be a super high-scoring game. I think it's going to be something like, I've been going back and forth between 20-17 or 17-13, and so I'm going to stick with 2017 because that's what I said originally. And I'm going to go with the Bears because what I said. We rarely lose more than 2 in a row to them, and we've already lost 2.
Jay.
Okay, so hey, let's go with the injury reports real quick. I know this is not the official injury report because it's a little bit early, but we do have a few people out. We have Khalil Mack out with a groin. Well, not out, but right now he has a groin. He's not out. This is just what happened in practice. You had Darnell Mooney with a back issue right now. You have Eddie Goldman with a knee and ankle. And the Rams have, I guess his name is Ashawn Robinson. Yeah, he has a knee. Like I said, this is not the official injury report. These are just people who had some kind of injury issue as far as yesterday's practice. So they all may play. We don't know. Okay. So let's get down to the big moment. We had the injury. We did the offense. We did the defense. we did the history of the team as far as last year. We also just did the injury report, and we looked at the Facebook page predictions. Who wants to start off with their prediction?
Well, I gave mine.
What was yours, Tammy? Let me get it down.
I'm going with the Bears 2017.
Oh, I thought you said 50-7. I'm sorry.
I said it's not going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side.
Okay, he said 27. Okay. I'll go and give mine because I know Plank used to tease me that I was always last year. I'm going to go Rams 24, the Bears 10.
Wow.
Who's next?
Wow. That's interesting. Because
I'll go.
You go? Okay.
Last seven first games for the Bears, they 1-6. Since 2006 against the Rams are 3-6 against them, but they won the last two games by a combined score of 41-17. Both of them have new defensive coordinators. Our offensive line is our offensive line. I got the Rams 24-13.
24-13.
Wow.
Okay. What about you, Quick?
Wow. Well, I'm just saying wow because I looked at the injury report. I didn't see that Aaron Donald was on there. I didn't see that Jalen Ramsey was on there. And I actually have the same score that you have, 24-10, the Rams. I think it's going to take the Bears at least a game to try to figure all this out with all those interchangeable parts. And I just think this one ain't going to be good.
Okay. What you got, Jay?
I'm going to counteract what Mike just said, that it's going to take the Rams a game to figure it out on offense. I got the Bears winning 13-10, even though here's another stat. In the last 36 possessions against the Rams, 36 possessions against the Rams, the Bears have scored 2 offensive touchdowns.
Ouch.
However, it's a new season, and I just think it's going to take Stafford a minute to achieve these goals that everybody said. I mean, you got people talking about the Rams in the NFC Championship, and I'm like, the Rams didn't even make the playoffs last year.
They sure
They
did.
didn't make the playoffs last year. So why is all this hype?
Wait. The Rams didn't make the playoffs last year? Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
I thought they played with the dude that
The
was
Rams
off the street.
The Rams were 6-10 last year. They did not even make the playoffs. And everybody's talking about, oh, if the Bears upset the Rams, I'm like, why is that an upset? The Bears made the playoffs last year. So my prediction, 13-10, Bears win in a close game. There it is.
Okay. Hey, Ron, we got a guest on. Hey, Ron, did you want to share your pick? You don't have to come on camera, but you can give us your pick if you want to.
Jay, they were 10-6 last year. They did go to the playoffs and lost with the dude that was at the grocery store. They didn't play with the starting quarterback. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay, I would have to look that up because I could have sworn.
Okay.
I had to look that up because I could have sworn the Rams didn't even make the playoffs last year.
They played with their second team.
Out of the NFC West?
Yeah, because Goff was knocked out, wasn't he?
Yeah, whatchamacallit, Goff was knocked out, and they came in with the dude, and dude messed his hand up, and Goff had to come back into the game.
You know what?
In the second half, second quarter.
You're exactly right. I remember.
But it's still the Tom Brady Invitational in the NFC anyway. So it don't even matter. You know, he could have won, not won, did whatever. It don't even matter. You know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
You're right. Hey, so let me
do a recap. I had the Rams winning 24-10. Tammy has the Bears winning 2017. Guy has the Rams winning 24-13. Quick has the Rams winning 24-10. Jay has the Bears winning 13-10. Let me go back. I think I said Tammy's wrong. Tammy has the Bears winning 2017. I had it right? Okay, I thought I said it reverse. So we have Tammy and Jay going with the Bears, and Guy Quick and myself are all going with the Rams, and I didn't get Plank pick. Who's that?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady Invitational. That's funny because that's exactly what it is.
That's what it is.
Caveat to y'all real quick. Hey, in the last 2 years, with all the trouble that he started, have you even heard the name Antonio Brown in the media?
No, he just caught a 20-yard pass a little while ago.
I was just going to say, he just caught a 20-yard sideliner as I eyed on TV.
Yeah, and it looked like he cut his mustache off. He looked a little weird, bro.
But that's like Brady shows up to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and all them dudes out there in Florida kicking it out on the coast, Miami. As soon as he walked up, every last one of them at 10 o'clock, you wonder where they at. They got their head in the playbook. That's what happened.
Yeah, so you know what? So next week I'm gonna add on the prediction show. What is our predictions as far as games? I didn't want to do it this game because I think with Andy starting, it's kind of hard because I think with most of us we may have two different predictions if we thought Andy is going to play most of the season versus if Justin Fields eventually come in. So I figured that the next week we could just give our prediction for the season because I figure at some point they just giving Andy his little pat on the back like we promise you this. So I didn't want to do that because I know last year I was like 6-10.
And then to me, as an organization, it's one of them things where you sign a guy and you be like, okay, we're gonna sign you to be our starting quarterback. But we didn't know Justin Fields was going to fall in our lap. Because, we talked about this prior to the draft that we thought we was going to get like a Davis Mills or a Kellen Mond in the second or third round. We had no idea. So when that happened, your mantra changes. Yeah, we told you was going to be the starting quarterback, but guess what? We just drafted Justin Fields. It's asinine to me that Justin Fields is not starting on Sunday. Because the bottom line is, I don't care what sport it is, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, tennis, I don't care. The best player at the position is the player that should be playing. And everybody know at Hallis Hall, Justin Fields is the best quarterback on this team. Period. I don't care. $10 million? Yeah, you know what? We'll eat that 10.
Like
only,
we did.
Only 5 is guaranteed.
Yeah, right.
We ate the whole grip of Glennon, and we got him out there for Mitch. But my thing is just like you said, Jay, and I've been all last year. The difference between all them European top flight soccer teams, the reason why from 1970 up until now, every year they either winning championships or going to a championship. Because when you come to beginning of the season practice, I don't care if we paying you $20 million a year. Your spot is up. These guys walk up in here because they made the Pro Bowl, because they've got tenure, they've done good. They can kind of cruise through. I would love to see Mr. Fields start, but unfortunately, like I said, it's always like a money issue, and we doing this, that, and the third. But just like we did with Glennon, we brought Glennon in here. Thought he was going to be like a Jesus piece, and he was just a piece of,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
We're coming on 30 minutes after the game is over on Sunday, and we'll discuss what happened in the game. And we'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight, who watched us on Twitch TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your evening. Peace.